Don't forget to like, subscribe and share the videos.
The topic that we are going to discuss now is need for innovative mosquito control approaches. Okay, so why is there a need for innovative mosquito control approaches, and what is that innovation that has been made recently? Those details we need to understand. Let us get into the details. Need for innovative mosquito control approaches. Rapid urbanization of the world's population, especially in developing countries like India, has led to annual surges in mosquito-borne diseases. Okay, and one of the emerging innovative methods for mosquito control is genetic engineering. So they are going to apply this method of genetic engineering, which involves altering the traits and the behavior of mosquitoes. So this is how they are going to control mosquito spread or mosquito proliferation. Next, what are mosquitoes? They are small flying insects which belong to a family called Culicidae. They belong to a family called Culicidae, and they are known for their distinctive buzzing sound, which they are famous for, and they are notorious for their role in transmitting diseases to humans and also animals, and they transmit deadly diseases such as malaria, dengue, Zika virus, yellow fever and other viruses and other diseases, which is affecting millions of people every year. Okay, so this is mosquito. And how are we going to control mosquito? What are the new methods? There is a changing landscape of mosquito-borne diseases, and what is the reason for that? One is urbanization and another is climate change. Okay, so rapid urbanization of the global population in developing countries has contributed to annual surges in mosquito diseases like dengue, which we already saw. Next, it is being additionally augmented by climate change. How? Climate change has expanded the territories where the disease are prevalent already. Okay, diseases would have been prevalent already, but now the areas are expanding. That is because of the climate change, and there is an exemplified indigenous cases of dengue in France. Generally, France is known for mosquito-free region. Okay, so it is considered as a mosquito-free region, but then even in France now we are facing indigenous dengue cases, which means it is spreading in France also. That is because of the climate change. I mean, there is an expansion in territory in which these diseases are prevalent. Next, current control measures. What are the control measures that we have? We use mosquito nets, we use insecticides, and we also use symbionts like Wolbachia. So what is this Wolbachia? Wolbachia is actually a bacteria which is present in 60% of the insects, and it includes mosquitoes also. So Wolbachia is a bacteria which is present in 60% of insects, and it includes mosquitoes also. But there is a particular variety of mosquito, that is Aedes aegypti, which causes deadly diseases like dengue, Zika virus, yellow fever and etc. This Aedes aegypti does not have this bacteria. Okay, this bacteria is not present in this Aedes aegypti. So what they are going to do in this Wolbachia method is they are going to introduce this bacteria into this Aedes aegypti mosquitoes, so that their lifespan will be reduced and their ability to transmit virus will be controlled. Okay, so a question based on this particular method, Wolbachia method, has been asked. Have been asked in the past prelims examination, 2023 prelims examination. Let us face that question also. Before that, we will see this point. Despite the availability of first generation malaria vaccine, insecticide resistance in mosquitoes is a growing concern. Okay, though we are spraying a lot of insecticides for mosquito control, they are becoming resistant to insecticides, which is a growing concern. Thus, there is a need for exploration of newer methods to control mosquitoes. Okay, so that is why we are going for genetic engineering now. Yes, this is the question that I was talking about. Wolbachia method is sometimes talked about with reference to which one of the following? Actually, the answer here is controlling viral disease by spread. Controlling viral disease spread by mosquitoes and using bacteria called Wolbachia bacteria. Okay, so Yes. So when it comes to science topic, you need to give importance even to such small important details. Okay. Next is genetic engineering for mosquito control. Genome sequencing. Okay. Actually, genome sequencing is very prevalent these days. Everywhere, genome sequencing is being done by researchers. So recent advancement in next generation genome sequencing techniques have enabled researchers to obtain whole genome sequence for various mosquito species. So there are whole genome sequence for whole mosquito species available now, and using these we are going to control it. How? This point is important. Research institutions like University of California and institutes in Bengaluru in India have contributed to high quality reference genome for a particular variety of mosquito, that is Anopheles stephensi, which is a major malaria vector. Okay, so such details are also important, and this point is linked here, that is the availability of mosquito genome sequence and our capacity, the researchers' capacity to genetically manipulate them offer unprecedented opportunities for mosquito control. So we have genome sequences and we have capacity to manipulate them. Okay, we are going, we have this capability to manipulate it genetically. So that is how they are going to control this mosquito. And what is the method that they are going to use? The method is gene drive technology. Okay, so what is this gene drive technology? It was developed by Austin Burt in the year 2003, and it aims to manage mosquito populations. How? By changing how they inherit certain genes. Okay, this is important, and it breaks the usual genetic rules explained by Mendel. Next is, this technology uses special protein to edit mosquito DNA. Okay, so it will be using a special protein to edit, which means they will cut a particular DNA, a particular section of mosquito's DNA, and when these protein cut the mosquito's DNA, the cell fixes it by adding a specific genetic sequence. Okay, this is important. So after the cut is made, say for example this is the DNA, and if a cut is made in this part and this part is removed, that part is actually fixed using cells by adding a specific genetic sequence. The cells will add another genetic sequence, okay, a newer sequence, but this newer sequence will affect mosquitoes' ability to have offsprings, and it will also stop malaria parasite from multiplying inside them. All these points are important, and researchers at Imperial College London genetically enhanced a gene in mosquitoes to secrete antimicrobial substances which will disrupt Plasmodium parasite. Okay, this Plasmodium parasite is the one which is the reason for malaria spread and then reducing mosquito lifespan. Okay, so this is how gene drive technology is being used to control mosquitoes. Next we have a mosquito called OX5034 mosquito. What is this OX5034 mosquito? US Environmental Protection Agency has authorized the release of genetically modified mosquito, that is OX5035, in Florida and Texas in the year 2020, and this mosquito is developed with a gene sensitive. It is developed with a gene which is sensitive to an antibiotic called tetracycline. So if this antibiotic tetracycline is given to a person who is affected by this mosquito's virus, then it becomes sensitive to it. Okay, then it carries a self-limiting gene. What is self-limiting gene? That is, it prevents female offspring from surviving, and it will lead to reduction in mosquito population. So this is how this mosquito is going to help in reduction in mosquito population, okay, or mosquito spread. So these points are important. And how is this genetic engineering going to benefit mosquito control? This is also important. Okay, so targeted mosquito control. What? Targeted mosquito control. This targeted approach reduces the need for broad spectrum insecticides. Okay, and minimizes harm to non-target species. This is important. Okay, so there will be targeted mosquito control so that there won't be harm to any other species. Next is there will be reduced environmental impact when compared to traditional insecticides. Okay, because these traditional insecticides will cause more harm to other insects also, and it will also cause a greater impact on environment, but there will be reduced environmental impact when we go for genetic engineering method, and it does not involve chemical pollution in the ecosystem, whereas this traditional insecticide causes chemical pollution in the environment. Next, sustainability. How sustainability? Once released genetically modified mosquitoes, the mosquitoes that we are talking about now, it can continue to pass on their modified genes to from one generation to another generation. Okay, so this is how the the change or the modification is transferred from one generation to another generation, providing a sustainable and self-perpetuating method of mosquito control without the need for frequent reapplication. This is important. So there won't be any need for frequent reapplication. Okay? Yes. Next, what are the risks and the concerns of genetic engineering for mosquito control? The main risk here is ecological imbalance. So, okay, so altered mosquito population may disrupt food chain or create ecological imbalance. So, everywhere if you see, even when it comes to ethical concerns, then it is again focusing on the question of ecological responsibility. Okay, and then the risk of invasion. Again, ecological disruption in the regions outside their natural range might happen. Okay, when we go for genetic engineering based control of mosquitoes. Okay, so these points, this ecological concerns and ethical concerns, and there are risk of invasion. So such points are important.